Alright, what's up y'all? We're here with PCP Week 9. I go against Andre. Now, Andre is one of the people that's been in the league since Season 1. We always have great battles, but I usually come out on top. It's been a bit of a theme with pretty much all of our battles that we've almost ever had. They're always really close, but I usually always take it just by the skin of my dick in the end. So, he actually has a really good team this season. I really like his team. He told me at the beginning of the season he was going to draft a team similar to like the kind of style that I draft, being like Volt Turn with wall breakers and sweepers and whatnot. So he drafted quite the team. It is Tapu Koko, Mega Scizor, Dragonite, Crocodile, Volcanion, Nidoqueen, Salazzle, Shaman, Cloyster, Raichu, and Sneasel. Now, that's a scary fucking team, like for real. I really like it though. It looks like something I would use for sure. So if you look at his team and you look at Unburdened Hitmonlee, it is very, very good versus him. Like 2/3 of his team is weak to Earthquake, so that's going to be fun on a bun. I'll come in when the electric terrain is up, get the boost, not have to waste a move slot with Fake Out, and then I can just pretty much sweep. Blaze Kick is still barely to a KO on Scizor because I am Jolly, but with the electric seed boost and a little bit of HP, a little bit of defense, I am going to be able to live a Bullet Punch quite comfortably. So that'll be cool. E-Speed plus Bullet Punch plus Ice Shard is a little rough for me to deal with, but if he does bring all three forms of priority, then I'm kind of just fucked. But I got other stuff that can do stuff. So that's Hitmonlee. Stone Edge is basically just there for the Dragonite, and then CC just hits everything. Ray Romano the Mamoswine, who is our Focus Sash lead. Originally I had Troppleberry, but I figured fuck it, you know, whatever. We'll just slap a sash on it, we'll lead with it. He doesn't have a good switch into this guy, and nothing can really OHKO me, and the only thing that I'm really scared of would be like a Grass Knot from Koko, or something like Low Kick from Sneasel. Things that are based on its weight really just fuck Mamoswine right up. It has decent defenses, but it's just not, or decent defense and HP. Spadef is a little lacking, but yeah. Basically, rocks are very important versus his team with all his fire types and whatnot, and potential sash mons. I just need rocks up. So that's going to be the most important part of him, but then I got Ice Shard just in case something like Dragonite gets out of hand, or Crocodile sweeping me with a Choice Scarf. Yeah, nobody wants to be Moxie swept. Then we have Roserades, and this is a cool set. It's Choice Scarf with Hidden Power Fire, which does do a shitload of damage to Mega Scizor after rocks. I don't believe it's an OHKO if he's like fully Spadef invested, but it does have quite the chance after rocks if he's just like physically defensive. Dazzling Gleam. This is basically a revenge killer for all his sweepers. Something like what am I thinking of here? Something like Mega Scizor at +2 is going to take an HP Fire and die. I do eat a +2 Bullet Punch. Dragonite at +1 can get Dazzling Gleamed. Giga Drain is just good for stab, and then Sludge Bomb for stuff like Shaman. And I plan on, I think this guy's going to put in some work. He looks like he has the coverage to do all the things and stuff. Then, since our usual Spadef wall is weak to arguably the best mon on his team, I couldn't really bring Sylveon, so we got Assault Vested Hoopa. I know, right? Assault Vested Hoopa, what the fuck? Drain Punch, Thunderbolt, Fire Punch, Ice Punch. Originally this was Thunder Punch, but I realized that if I come in, this thing is basically a decent switch in to stuff like Shaman, Salazzle, what's the other one? Volcanion. So I can come in, 2 Steam Eruptions are going to hurt, but I do outspeed, and I can at least hit it with a Thunderbolt, and the reason I switched from Thunder Punch to Thunderbolt was I would come in, chances are I'm fucking getting burned, and Thunderbolt would do more if he wasn't Assault Vest. That's cool. Fire Punch for the Scizor, of course, Ice Punch for his 17 ground types, and then Drain Punch just for stuff like Crocodile, stuff like Cloyster. Maybe I can get a little bit of recovery back, just maybe. Although Thunderbolt is going to completely dunk on the Cloyster anyways. That'll be fun. Also, he does have the possibility of bringing the Tapu Koko with like Terrain Extender plus the Alolan Raichu, which does this outspeed my entire team. So if he predicts me to bring the Electric Seed Hitmonlee, he could totally bring Raichu and just completely dick around my plans. So yeah, this guy's kind of a necessity. Yeah, even with the minus Spidef Nature's Thunderbolt, still doing a lot. Look at that, uninvested, still at 356 and 338. Good God. See, it has higher special attack than Jolteon does fully invested. Holy shit. This is a fun set. It's a Choice Scarf Jolteon. I know, right? I know. Go, guys, come on, I know. It is basically there because there's a few scenarios where I can't help but let Cloyster get up a Shell Smash. Like, if it's in versus this guy, what's his fucking name? Mamoswine, then I can Earthquake him, and it's going to do like 30% because Cloyster is a defensive beast. So I need something to just guarantee that I will outspeed. Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, Hidden Power, Ice, Volt Switch. I can Volt Switch on just about, well, he has a lot of ground types, but I don't expect him to bring all of them. So if whichever one comes, I can figure it out. So we got Signal Beam to hit the Crocodile, if that's it. Hidden Power, Ice to hit the Nidoqueen, if that's it, and then Thunderbolt just to basically spam. I do have a little bit of bulk that does let me live. I believe it was an extreme speed, like a banded extreme speed, and it also lets me live a like a +4 bullet punch. So that'll be interesting. Then last we have our Draconium Z Zygarde. Originally we were banded, and this is supposed to be like that. Originally we were banded just to have a faster E-speed than he would, just to come through in the back, but I realized that Draconium Z kind of just blows a hole through his team, and because of the possibility of a coil set, I don't really see him, like Scizor walls this, but since I could run coil, I don't expect him to stay in versus this with Scizor, because I can coil up, Dragon Dance up, do all that shit, and then he'll still be like boosting faster than I am, but Zygarde just gets so bulky so fast that I can just start doing damage. And then we got the Z Outrage because Shaman will completely wall this, but just like versus Tim, the Z Outrage is going to do so much damage, like just fucking boatloads of damage, a desk of damage. So, just a little warning, this is a crazy fucking game, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. I don't got anything else to say. Now, as you can see, he did bring the Salazzle, which he likes to bring Scarf Fire types versus me. And since Salazzle with a Scarf would outspeed my Kartana, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Scarf Salazzle. He could be Sash or White Herb Cloyster, that's probably just physically defensive Shaman. Probably something like Specs or AV Volcanion, and then I know he likes him some Spidef Scizor, which is cool to wall stuff that I have. So, and then probably just good old fashioned like Shuka Nidoqueen, because I do have like 3 ground types. So I think he'd want to be able to live one and then hit me with an Ice Beam. So we'll just jump right in, put this bitch on normal, and he leads with Nidoqueen. So I have Mamoswine. Now I'm pretty sure he's fucking Shuka. So I think he's going to stay in, and I think he's going to click Stealth Rock or something like that. So what I should have done was just attacked and popped the Shuka or hit him with an Ice type move, but I was like, okay, well the switch to Scizor here is pretty obvious because he'll come in, take an Earthquake decently, and then when he Megas, he'll take it a lot better. He can Roost up and he can BP me, so I was like, fuck it, we'll just go right for the Stealth Rocks, but he just stays in and goes for the Focus Blast. Now after that damage, I really wished, first of all, that I was Chople still, and then I realized that, what did I realize? I realized that he's offensive, not offensive, he is defensive and not Life Orb. So again, I'm thinking this guy's definitely Shuka, but I do want to keep this Mamoswine around. So I figured he'd just go for an Earth Power or something, so I am just going to switch right on out to good old Spoople, my Assault Vest Hoopa. And I'm not sure if he predicted me to do that, or if he just switched into Scizor to take the Ice-type move or the Earthquake or something, but I am now in an unfavorable position because even though I do have Fire Punch, there's no way that kills a Scizor, and he can just U-turn. I don't want to give him momentum. I could go into something like Hitmonlee and take the U-turn, but that puts me in range that completely nullifies the bulk of that I put on him. And also, you'll see he didn't bring fucking Tapu Koko. So, Hitmonlee coulda, shoulda, woulda swept, but he will not, and that's going to be unfort as hell. Yeah, I just go for the Fire Punch, just trying to get some damage. Trying to put him in range of 1,000 arrows or something like that, and he just U-turns the entire deck off of my Hoopa, and that's that. So at least now we will get the Switch Initiative. He obviously learned how to put emojis as his names. Yep, there it is. And yeah, I just go for what, the Earthquake here, I think. Yeah, just not gonna overpredict like I did turn fucking 1. But I do have the Blaze Kick, so I can just go for that. Try to get a burn, try to get a flinch. I do get the burn actually, but he can just synthesis up on me, and Hitmonlee is not looking too great. With no electric terrain and no boosting move, I'm kind of just fucked by this Shaman, because it is defensive as hell. So I figured he wouldn't want to go for the Leech Seed. I can go right to Roserade, and I think he'd just sack off the Scizor here. He doesn't have an opportunity to roost on a lot of my stuff, so I figured he'd just sack it off. I go for the HP Fire, but he actually goes back into Nidoqueen. But that is a decent chunk, and we are able to see that he's Black Sludge, not Shuko. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's go right back to Hitmonlee, fire off another Earthquake, and see what happens. So he does get his rocks up, which isn't necessarily terrible for me, but hey. So I figured he's going right to Shaman. I need to capitalize on that and go for the Blaze Kick. That's not what happens. He stays in. This time I can just go for the Earthquake and kill off the Nidoqueen, which was a little surprising to me. I didn't think he'd let me kill it off that soon. But now Salazzle comes in. Now I do have that little bit of bulk investment we talked about, and that is very, very Scarf Salazzle. Earthquake takes that guy out, no problem. Now he can go to Scizor. I know the Bullet Punch is coming. I could probably go to Jolteon or something if I wanted to, but I just didn't. I don't know why. And I actually had Mach Punch on there for a little while for a situation just like that, but I think it only did like 11 to 16 or something, so I'm actually kind of glad I didn't bring it. So now Squishy comes out, and I realized if he was max defense, which it looked like he was because of the Fire Punch damage, that 1,000 arrows had a chance to not kill. And I was just like, fuck. If I 1,000 arrows and it does 16% and he lives and he roosts up, I'm gonna look like a piece of shit. So I might as well just hope that he goes for something like a Bullet Punch or a U-turn, and I can just D-dance up, because I figured he had the Shaman at almost full health, and it kind of, I just thought it was coming in. I figured he would go to that, get some HP ice damage off on me, or at least just stay in Bullet Punch so that he could come in and ice shard me with Cloyster. But that's not what happens. He just stays in and goes for the Roost, and we are kind of in trouble now, because that does 30%. Holy shit, he's going to SD up on me. I'm still at 94%, which is cool. He can SD up again if he wants, and I will still eat the Bullet Punch, no problem. And basically my plan is I just need to leave this guy in range of Jolteon, which I believe does about 40%. So if I can just, if I can get the plays right and make sure that he stays below 50% or so, then that'll be fine and dandy. I figured, I'll take the Bullet Punch, and I would have lived at like 10%, so I could have E-speeded the next turn and probably took him down to a decent amount of health, and then revenged him and been fine and dandy. But we do get crit, and we are definitely in fucking trouble now. That crit was huge, man. I needed more damage off on this guy, and now I'm in fucking trouble. So Roserade dies to a +4 Bullet Punch, Mamoswine dies to Rocks, and Jolteon is Choice Scarf and cannot do 80% to a Scizor. So I have to go in and hope that he chokes and goes for the U-turn or something like that, or fuck, I don't know. He Bullet Punches, I live, no crit that time. Thunderbolt does what, 40% on the dot, there you go. So I'm kind of fucked. He can Bullet Punch and kill me again, and at this point I kind of just have to accept the fact that I am no longer undefeated, and it's just going to be a bad time. Y'all can't see the chat, but I was already like, yep, good game, fuck this, like, god damn it. But fucking, he doesn't click BP. He does not click BP. There's a BP right there waiting to be clicked, and he just refuses to click it. So I take him out with the HP Fire. I was like, what the actual fuck? I now have a chance in this game. He's choked and given me a chance. So I can sack off the Mamoswine here, so that way I can lock myself into Sludge Bomb, which will kill everything else. But I gotta kind of just hope that this is like defensive Volcanion or something like that. He has brought it before, but he does have the Fire Blast, and it looks like this. I got an extra differential point, but this is definitely game. I just kind of lose right here. I'm Scarf, so I go first. Sludge Bomb does not kill. I was disappointed. He misses the fucking Fire Blast. I am back in it. I am back in it. He missed the fucking Fire Blast, just like the game versus Hobby where I missed mine. He now misses his, and god damn it, we are sweeping with Roserade, boys. We have we harv. I'm a fucking pirate now. I'm so excited. We have just enough defense investment to live the ice shard. Fuck that shit. 58%. Suck my dick, Cloister, you pussy-looking motherfucker. And we win with Roserade. I did not deserve this win. I should have a loss to Andre Sacco, and he should have beaten the only undefeated player left in the league. That is not what happened. Just the Hax gods were like, you know what, Shaden, it's not your time to lose yet, buddy. You are gonna win this one by the foreskin of your teeth. And I was just, man, for like 4 hours after this game, I was just shook. I was shook as hell. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It looks like we colluded. Like, I don't know, man. This shit was way too crazy. Good game to Andre, though. He actually had me. He had me in the bag. And I guess the pressure just got to him. You know, it just boiled over and he just couldn't do it. But regardless, good game to Andre. We always have close-ass games, and good God, was that was the closest one. Holy fucking shit. I don't even know what to say. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching all that shit. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I would sure appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Also, there was no recap last week because I'm sure you noticed the replays on Showdown did not work, so unfortunate. We'll be back this week with one, though, and we'll probably briefly talk about all the matches and stuff. Love ya. Bye forever.